And here we have another example. Notice that the hypotenuse of the large right triangle is given. We're told that it is equal to 9. And as before, the large right triangle is divided into two smaller parts, but the smaller part here is unnamed. The larger part of the hypotenuse is 3. The altitude is x, the short leg is y, and the long leg is z. So first let's focus on the hypotenuse. We said that the longer part of the hypotenuse is 3, and that the overall measurement of the hypotenuse is 9. So we can take that information and subtract 3 from 9, and the end result that we get is that the short leg of the short part has to be 6. So now we're going to use that to solve the rest of this right triangle. So if we start with the first schematic, it goes like this. Okay, so we have 6. For the short part of the hypotenuse, the altitude is x, the altitude again is x, and then the long part, I got those backwards, didn't I? Okay, the diagram itself may not be drawn to scale. So the long part of the hypotenuse is 6, the short part is 3, and the altitude is x. So that allows us to write the proportion 6 over x is equal to x over 3. If we cross multiply, we get x squared is equal to 18, because 6 times 3 is 18. But then we can factor that into a perfect square and another number. 18 is equal to 9 times 2. And if we simplify that by taking the square root, we realize that we have x is equal to 3 times the square root of 2. So we've solved one part of this right triangle. And so now for the next part. Okay, we're going to use our second schematic. We'll start on the far right side. It's going to include the whole hypotenuse, the short leg again, and then the what look like the shorter part, okay, which we now know is 6. Okay, so we have 9. Here we have y. Over here we have y. And then for the rest of this part here we have 6. So that allows us to write the following proportion. 9 over y is equal to y over 6. Cross multiply and we get y squared is equal to 9 times 6. And that gives us y is equal to 3 root 6. Because the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 6 is root 6. So now we're going to use our third schematic. We start on the far left corner of the hypotenuse, go all the way across, and we take in the long leg of the large right triangle, again the long leg of the large right triangle, and then finally that shorter part. And so to label those, we get 9. Over here on the long leg we have z. Over here we have z once again. And then that short leg is 3. And I guess that looks like a 3. Okay, so that allows us to write the proportion 9 over z is equal to z over 3. If we cross multiply, we get z squared. Z squared is equal to 9, ugly 9 times 3. Ooh, those are ugly. And so you get z equals 3 root 3. And so once again, kind of the quick and easy way of doing this is to use the 3 schematic diagrams to attack these geometric means problems, and it gives us the answers for the missing parts of the triangle quite simply, quite easily. Okay, and maybe, I don't know if you can see it, but I have no idea what that 6 is doing there, and I don't know why it's there. Maybe you can't see it, but I can. Anyway, once again, using the schematic diagrams to solve these problems is the quick and easy way.